Yo. Yeah, everything's okay. My pride is a little hurt, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an experience. Needless to say, I was a bit nervous. I was up late last night, trying to work out the tech and everything, and shout out to box mining. I was like kind of panicking because I was having a hard time with Zoom and Google Hangouts, and he recommended in stream or stream in. What was it? What was the name of that product? And it was working fine last night, and was getting all prepped this morning, and we ended up moving it about an hour forward. Uh, so I was getting changed and getting out the shower, and like, oh, let's go now. So okay, let's do it. And needless to say, it did throw me appear in. Yeah, it threw me off a little bit. But I'm not making any excuses. It was my first time, and everybody loves a good comeback story. So I'm not gonna go anywhere. It's just something to improve upon. But definitely, when people started popping in and out of the chat, that threw me off pretty hard. Yeah, yeah, I feel more comfortable now. Meanwhile, I'm here. Might as well talk to the people. Um, we will continue. We will do another one next week. And I must say, Mike showed some really strong executive presence there. He handled it really well. Um, I'm really sorry that to the Cash team and Mike about that, but yeah, yeah. So what happened? What happened was all sorts of technical difficulties on my end as far as not locking the chat. So what was happening was people were popping in with their hey hey heys and whatnot. They were able to join the chat meanwhile talking to Mike. So meanwhile Mike's talking, somebody pops up showing their information and stuff, and then I downloaded or I had to purchase the Pro Edition, and I thought I had stopped the stream when I didn't. So here I am entering my credit card info for the world to see. Um, yeah, so that's what happened. It was a stumble on my end. I'm not even sure it was. I think when I was clicking on lock, it said I didn't own the room. So yeah, apparently you have to purchase the pro version to lock it. Yeah, Wasa. Who was that? Oh, yeah, we can move that off. That's exactly how I feel. So let's see. 329, around 320 yesterday. Is that you, Mario? What's up? What's up? What's up? When I saw that, oh my god, I was like, do I think Bitcoin is going to? Do I think Bitcoin is going to drop more? Um, Potentially, yes. It could. It could. Yeah. There's a strong possibility. There's a lot of bearishness in the market. We need some positive catalysts to get it back up, but it is possible. But I don't think we're gonna see like a 2 year bear market like some people are predicting, or 3 or 4K. We may touch that 6K level again momentarily, and then start the next run. So for me, um, yeah, there was a lot I could have done differently, Mark. It was it was just thoughts on KMD. That was like KMD worse than KMD's stream. Um, uh, what do I think of CPC chain? I think it's pretty smashed right now. Um, I I have mixed feelings on it. I see the potential there, but they need to start delivering. Um, Not something that I'm buying right now. Yeah. I have set buy orders on quite some Quentin says I have set buy orders on quite some different alts, but after having bought them, the sats continue to drop. Yeah, so that's like catching a falling knife. Did you use all of your available BTC already? Hey, what's up, Crypto Rainmaker? If you're just starting to buy now, I think you're in good shape. Even though if they start to drop, in general, many of these tokens are closer to their respective bottoms than you think, in my opinion. Obviously, is there room to go down further? Sure, there is. But the amount that you're going to go down versus the upside that exists for those tokens, if you're in the right ones, is asymmetrical. So, if you're somebody coming in new now, or you had a heavy BTC allocation and now you're starting to buy alts, even if they go down a little bit over the upcoming days, weeks, um, in even in the midterm, short term, I believe that entries now will end up looking very good. Jabril, JNT is Jabril, right? Yeah, Captain is very bullish on Jabril. The analysts are starting to look into it. So far, all positive things. So it does have some nice potential. I haven't done the full research to really make an educated opinion. So I can't say I'm like in love with it or anything like that. But from what I'm seeing so far, it does look good. Yeah, I think it has some nice potential. Neo, AGI, DBC, Ella, F. Okay. Charter, I looked into. Right now, ICOs are kind of like dead, so I'm a little hesitant to participate in any ICOs right now. I believe Mahedin says I believe BTC won't hit past 20K this year. Crypto has gotten a bad name in the public scene since skyrocketing to 20K, then down to 10K. People get scared of that, and new money is needed for gains. Um, oh yeah. Um, I mean, I would tend to disagree with Mahedin, but it's a legitimate sentiment. Um, there needs to be some positive catalysts that would bring people back in or bring new money in. So when you think about it, there are different things that can do that. Also, as the price starts to go up, that's when the public will start to buy more. They don't understand the concept of buying the dip. They want to feel, they want the FOMO. It's a hard psychological thing to explain, but personally, I think that we will see the market cap grow further this year and Bitcoin grow further as well. I'm drinking coffee. Oh, you've seen Neon Exchange ICO. I know Binance announced their own decentralized. Yeah, Robinhood's already in like five states, I believe. So as that spreads, yeah, yeah, I entered Storm. So I spent last week, most of the week in Chicago with Bitcoin Birch of Bravado fame, and he said Storm was his favorite high upside alt of this year. So we've been trading and talking together for over 6 months now, and he's somebody that I value his opinion, and he was selling me on it. And then looking at the chart yesterday when it hit Binance, I've noticed, at least in the past or sometimes with ICOs, when coins open at a high level and they dump, and you see those big three red candles, um, also versus compared to its all-time high, the price looked really good at that point for it to enter. And I saw a lot of hype building up around it. I know Ari Paul was discussing a token that could bring, a billion people into crypto, and a lot of people were speculating that that token was Storm. So at that level, I got in around 240. It looked like a play to me, and it started to go up, and then the whole market just kind of dumped a bit. So I'm still in it. I didn't stop loss. Well, I don't think I lost yet, but I didn't stop that position. It's something that I'm going to probably hold for a little while. Yeah, hodl strategy in a bear market is not good. Obviously it doesn't work. That works in a bull market. Shippen says, KJ, thoughts on hodl strategy in bear market? Doesn't make sense when down 80%. Well, when down 80%, then then you have to hodl, really, in my opinion. I mean, if you're down 20%, then you can stop your loss. If you're down 10%, you stop your loss. Once you start getting over 50, 60, 70, and 80%, um, that's when that's I mean, if you cut there, then you're done. It's kind of like game over. And basically, if you're stopping loss at 80%, you're basically saying you don't believe in cryptocurrency and you don't believe in Bitcoin. And if that's the case, then you can, and you just go and don't come back and you're done. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to really think about why you invested in those projects to begin with, why you invested in this space, where you see it a year from now, where you see it 6 months from now, even 3 months from now. To stop loss at 80% that's not really the brightest move in my opinion. No, I didn't, Daniel. That was another critical error. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but yeah. Yeah, I agree. If you took huge hits, it wouldn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The cash part two to the interview will happen next week, and I will be better prepared. BBN. Yeah. Are you talking about loss from total profits main or original investment? Martin. Martin says, "Do you believe 6K will be the bottom?" I don't think it. I don't think it's going to go there. I don't think it's going to go all the way down there. But if it does, I think that would be probably around where the bottom would be. Um, you got to hope that 5,800 level or whatnot doesn't get breached, because then it could go down even further. But I'm not a TA guy, and TA can't predict. I mean, it does, but you know, I think we could make it down to maybe 7,200, 7,100, 69. I don't think we'll go all the way down to 6K, and I think we'll bounce. Yeah, anything could happen. I can't. I'm not going to be able to predict. So Zen Snev says, after losing 80%, you need 4x to break even. You're 100% right. I mean, that's why you don't want to lose 80%. You want to stop loss before then. But if you waited till 80%, you're a hodler, and then just stick with it. Don't. It's like, don't quit when you've lost almost everything. You might as well just go down with the ship at that point. I think from a fiat pairing, an icon, under $3, $2, $4, whatnot, is going to end up looking very cheap. So, just my advice, and not financial advice, just from my experience and my opinion, is to ladder orders in. Don't put it all in at one price level, because the potential to go down still exists. So incremental orders, like we always discuss. At what price? I bought Icon when it initially listed. I don't even remember. and it was like probably like 10,000 sats or 8,000, something like that. Then I bought more. Um, when it dipped down, I think I bought some around 50, and then I bought a lot more around 30. Yeah. If your plan is long term, then you this is there's nothing fun about it. This is an uncomfortable time for everybody. But at the end of the day, you just have to zoom out, think about what you're in. So like for instance, Cash, Icon, Ven, those are my three largest holdings. Um, I feel I don't think that in the next few months they're just going to disappear. There's too much behind it, too much going on. And even though the market is not thriving right now from a dollar and volume perspective, the show continues to go on of more and more and more projects are springing up, more and more partnerships, and more awareness. I mean, look, you saw John Oliver. People said that he was ripping Bitcoin, but that segment that he did, and it was a long segment on Last Week Tonight, was really a fair assessment in my opinion, and brings more awareness to the space that we're in. And he basically said, there's a gambling element. It's a high upside. People watching that, you got to think of, the normal guy sitting on the couch and he's seeing people, we were talking about people becoming millionaires and how the upside is there. It's risky. It's gambling. I mean, look how popular FanDuel is, and gambling in general. Gambling is very popular in the world. So he didn't say that you couldn't make money and that it wasn't, he gave a lot of good information. So I think that does spread awareness, and it's positive at the end of the day. Um, am I going to use ICX to enter some of the ICOs? Possibly, yeah. Referium potential. Referium has like 500,000 users. It's got a real product, real working product that they're going to use. I think once you start to see those more of the gaming conventions going on, like E3 and whatnot, you're going to see them ratchet up marketing. So I believe, I don't know, is it trading below ICO or in the ICO range? Um, it does have potential. I mean, that's what I said. I think I said this on one of my last streams. Was some of the you want to look at the tokens that are like below ICO or like in their ICO price that are legit projects, because you have to, or at least I do. I make the assumption that um, being that it's in ICO price range, it hasn't made any growth. So there is, I mean, it can go, some of the pre-sale investors can dump on you for their 20, 30% or whatnot. But in general, once those people have been out, and the market starts to come back, those are the projects that are going to grow and grow quickest. Everything will grow, but in a bull market, but you want to pick the stuff that has the highest growth potential. So looking at projects like Referium, ShipChain, Dragon Token that are in that range, um, not to say that they won't go lower, but those are the ones to me that are going to really thrive when the money starts to come back in, because you don't have people that are up 30x, 40x. Everybody's kind of in the same boat. They're getting in on the ground floor, and that's when you could see it grow. Yeah, Matrix is pretty close as well. It's a good point. The Icon article was really well done. Thank you, Martin. That was actually one of our analysts and friends, Shillman. So, yeah, he did a great job on the Icon article. Dead Booze asks, this is a great question. In a broad sense, are you more bullish on older, more established projects, or do you believe that the newer projects maybe are more developed and will outgrow the older ones? So, a little of both. So, like Syscoin, for instance, this is the thing. This year, like Q2, Q3, you're going to see a lot of these older projects actually produce results, and we're going to see what happens. There aren't that many fully functional blockchain projects out right now. So, you know, it's a little of both. We have to see what they do. So I like to mix up my portfolio with projects that have, main nets and big things coming on their roadmap that are older and more proven and they've stuck around, to see what happens. And I also mix that with, kind of like a speculator's approach where I'm looking for newer projects that haven't made at least their market growth. So some of those older projects are already up, 10,000% or 5,000% or, even more potentially. So like my greedy side, I want to get into something that's either not up at all or up very nominal amounts so that I can experience that run. So what I do is I mix. I have a little bit of both. Yeah, see, somebody bought it 850 sats, and Syscoin has a ton of stuff coming up, in the before the end of the month. I know they're doing a hard fork. People down the road, they're going to be going live with their market, their web edition. They're doing an ICO, and people don't realize it, but what's it, Coin Payments Coin? It's actually a pretty strong project, and that will be airdropped to Syscoin holders in June. So there are some nice things coming up, master nodes as well. And Syscoin was one of the coins that from January really performed well. It didn't really move at all. And up until now, right when the catalysts are about to come out, you start to see whales putting huge sell orders, but not actually selling them, pushing that price down. So Syscoin is something you should be looking at, in my opinion. I do have some Matrix. I do. What do I think of Neo at $70? Um, seems pretty cheap to me, but I know they had with there was some FUD on Neo recently. Um, in general, I think Neo is probably going to do well as the market grows. So if you had to pick a coin for a quick 2x when we bounce back, what would it be? Icon, probably Icon. I think it could 2x pretty quickly. That banned me from. No, no, no flu kicks. We're going to do it again next week. Yeah, see, like you have those small. Marius says, "I really like your portfolio, although I'm not very knowledgeable. I honestly like the way you have your small cap coins, bigger projects in terms of percentage holding." So what happens is, you take risk with the smaller stuff, and you put maybe 5% or 5 to 10% of your portfolio in these smaller high upside plays, and when they pan out, they end up being a huge part of your portfolio. That like when Ven blew up, I put a lot in, but it ended up engulfing my portfolio. So I had to take profit, and then I took profit and was able to put that into other small projects, you know, and diversify that way so that, when each one of those go off, you just keep doing it. It's like a cycle. I think it'll come from Asia and America again. More retail investors coming in, more as well as institutional investors, and that's kind of why I'm bullish on cash as well because I think it provides a format and a level of comfort to bigger investors that are not as familiar or comfortable with doing this space, like buying BTC and sending it to Binance Exchange and then buying tokens. I think they provide a better platform for that type of an investment. So what I would say is you have Bitcoin Lightning Network, which should be coming out this year, I would expect. That would be a huge catalyst for the space, get a ton of publicity. You also have Vladimir Putin speaking very, very bullishly of crypto in general, and you have Donald Trump as well, who has not. I mean, he hasn't said negative things about blockchain when asked. I think he's commented on it, but he hasn't like shilled it or really publicly embraced it. And I think that's something that could potentially happen. You have G20 summit where everybody's saying that's going to be bearish, But just like the SEC conference on February 6th, um, it could turn out being bullish. And if that was the case, that would bring in a lot more money as well. And then there are things that have never happened that we can't anticipate happening, but you're not, I don't know. Um, I think there are. Isam says, yeah, many overvalued coins with white paper and stuff. I agree, and that's why I invest in projects primarily that I believe will stick around, that have real fundamentals, not just a white paper. And what'll happen is eventually those ICOs that are not, they're just kind of money grab type plays, are going to go to zero. They're going to dry up, and the money's going to leave those. It's choking out the liquidity, the volume from the good projects right now because you have 100 new ICOs coming out every month. Um, Once that kind of era is ended, I think you'll see a lot of the money leave those vaporware type projects and go into the good stuff. So as long as you have a good portion of your portfolio in solid projects, it should end up being good for you. Nick says, "Do you know when Icon is set to hit Korean exchanges?" I do not. I would assume around the time that they do their token swap. Um, so yeah, thanks, Nils. Any thoughts of TRX future in the crypto industry? TRX was something that I never got. I never was really into it, and I continue not to be really, big on it. It does get a ton of volume, gets a lot of hype as well. I believe they have mainnet coming soon, so I really should be looking at it. But Ubic or Strat, Johnston? Ugh, those are two. Well, Ubic particularly is one of the older platforms. I'm surprised that it didn't grow with the rest of the platforms when the market was bull. You saw all the platform tokens grew really, really strongly, but Ubic didn't seem to move. I was surprised by that. Um, I, it's not something that I'm looking to get into. Metal has been performing well. I don't hold it currently. Um, Filecoin. In your view, why was Filecoin shilled so hard during yesterday's speech? I don't know. Maybe one of them had a lot of tokens. I don't know. That was a nice. It's kind of like a dojo meme. Filecoin. That guy was very bullish on Filecoin for some reason. Proc for life. Proc thoughts. Let me see. Where is my Discord? Hey, what's up, Cam Perry? Elf, I don't know anything about. Believe it or not, I do not know every single project. Let's see. Let me see if I could get. Where's Foz? Energies. First call I followed you was Proc. Unlucky. Well, not for nothing. Proc, the call was made around 700 and it went to 1600 in 3 days. And it stayed at that range for a few days. So, and I publicly tweeted, I'm taking half of my profit out and going to let it ride. So I refuse to lose money on Proc. So if you followed that, it wouldn't have been as bad, to be honest. So, CivPot, the problem I have with Qash is that decentralized exchanges seem to be the future. So an exchange-based token is kind of a hard sell. Okay, so this is why it was so important that I do this AMA with Mike, because what I've noticed and talking to people, um, is not everybody has a full comprehension of what Qash and Liquid actually is and does. The token itself has more utility than just just an exchange token like BNB or KCS. They're building their own blockchain. There may or may not be a decentralized function to it, but what Liquid is aiming to do is allow traders and investors to access their world book with different fiat pairings, which would allow them to ultimately buy altcoins from all different exchanges through Liquid. So you would sign up with Liquid, which is a combination of CoinEx and cryptos, and you would be able to buy altcoins with fiat. So you wouldn't have to buy BTC and then send it to Binance or send it to Bitfinex and then buy your altcoin. You could buy it directly with fiat, or you could buy it with a BTC or F pairing or a Qash pairing. And you could buy altcoins from multiple exchanges. So like picture not having to log in and send BTC back and forth from Binance to Bittrex. So let's say I wanted to buy Syscoin. Now I have to take out BTC from Binance, send to Bittrex, and buy the Syscoin. You could just go right through Liquid and access all these exchanges, not to mention be able to buy with US dollar or Japanese, whatever that currency, Indian currency, all these different currencies. That's extremely powerful. The token itself would also offer 5% discounts, and that's the token. The token would be used for decentralized apps on their blockchain and different like algorithm products, all sorts of different features that traditional institutional investors would be using on Liquid platform would be purchased with cash. So the token itself has a ton of value. Tokens. Yeah, I'm going to stop acknowledging it. Do you refuse to take losses on alts in a, Nick asks, do you refuse to take losses on alts in a bear market? I have a long-term investment mindset as well, but I'm tempted to take a loss here and there when the chart looks rough and BTC struggling. I take losses. I'm not just a straight holder. I do take loss. I stop my closed positions. But yeah, you have to decide when. It's all about the timing. As a rule, I typically don't take loss when I see giant red candles and I didn't take loss, I didn't close the position earlier. I'll wait for a bounce. So like for instance, yesterday when BTC went down below 8K, people were, should we stop loss now? Do we go to Tether? And I said, you know what? I don't do that. If I didn't do it before those candles came, I'm not going to do it at the bottom of the candles. I'll wait until there is some sort of a bounce. So right now, it bounced a bit. It's a better position to stop it now. If you're still very bearish and you want to stop loss, what's BTC at now? So now we're at like 83. It's looking a little bit better. But if you think this is just a fake out, now would be a better time to do it than when you start to see those giant red candles. So you have to decide what you're going to do. But I don't do it, in the moment when it's already too late. Yeah. Hari says, do you like to come to Los Angeles and work for my mining company? You'll get 30% share for free, and if you don't come, I'll come to your house and kill you. I know where you live. Nice. All right. Thoughts about POA? POA looks pretty good. The price for everything's cheap. This is the time where you buy, whatever coins you believe in. All the talk on security tokens, are you bullish on Polymath? Polymath, there isn't really any competition. It's a very interesting project. You look at the investors and the advisors, really strong group of advisors, and Polymath's something I'm taking a very serious look at. I like it. We could. Lux, until they get their wallets sorted out, um, I, I think Lux will do very well. Um, but they need to get that staking straightened out. Their master nodes is going to be awesome. Chris, who I did the original Lux video on, says Lux is the best privacy coin on the market right now. So very bullish on Lux. If you don't have any, um, the price is getting pretty good. So yeah, I like Lux. I like Poly. I don't run master nodes yet, but it's not something that I'm close to doing. Hi, King of Universe. No opinion on LRC. LRC is they have one of the strongest teams in crypto. Really awesome project, and it's something that I was looking at. Its price is good. It did a very strong retrace. So yeah, any project is always going to have competitors. So Islam says if you're interested in Poly, I heard there will be a competitor named Chainium focused in Europe and Asia instead of USA. So it's something to look into. Sumo got wrecked by Monero fanboys. Doesn't mean that their project isn't good. One of the people that I speak to in regards to security says the security is or the privacy on Sumo is outstanding, but just right now they've had a bad run and seems to have fallen out of favor. So you like to see how far it goes down. Um, where is Sumo's cap at? I don't have any, but where's it at? Yeah, so now at like a $4 million cap, Sumo becomes very appealing. Actually, it's a legitimate privacy coin. So at 4 million, it does have some very strong upside. Manny Pacquiao coin. Coinbase Index Fund. Any thoughts on Coinbase Index Fund? Good or bad for the crypto world? Um, I haven't decided yet, and I don't know if anyone could definitively answer that. Uh, I would I would say it's I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna guess. Dimitri, hey guys, anyone buying Quant Stamp here? Quant Stamp is a solid project. Um, 89 million cap. These are the coins that we're looking at right now. So I don't look up here primarily. I like to look down here, like in this range, to see what can end up. Like Chainlink 150, Loop Ring 186, Nebulous 186, Syscoin 200, Dragon 197. These are the ones that I'm looking for, and even lower potentially. Sub, Enigma. There's a lot of good projects down here. Even the following page. Let's see. Yeah, Vertcoin is nice. 96. Quant Stamp at 89. Yep. Skycoin is a really interesting project. 74 mil. That has big upside. Ubic all the way down to 70. Wow. This might be the purge right now, actually, guys. It's possible. Blue Zell 54. Jabrel. Yeah, so there's a lot of tokens to pick from. Oh, man. Isam asks, how do you keep up with all those different coins? It's hard. I can't know all of these coins. It's not possible. And, you can't have them all. You pick what you like, but it's very difficult. Have a great day, Shant. Thank you. Zion is one of those coins that I don't know about. All right, I guess Deuce does know every coin. If I could have one superpower, what would it be? Hmm. Probably flying. That would be cool. Flying. Buy KCS, have a little of all altcoins. All right. Any other reasonable questions? Flying. Why not? Flying would be fun. I mean, you would be able to make like money. You'd be if you were like the only person in the world that could fly. I mean, you'd have a good life. It'd be fun. What else do you need? You don't need like all that responsibility. Is that a superpower, energies? Time traveling. I think track origin trail is a good coin. I wouldn't put it on the level of VeChain. Yeah, hold on to cash bag, you will fly. What's your plan for the inevitable icon upswing? Take profits at 2x, 3x, or so forth. I think Nick, I think I'm gonna wait, because I really feel like Icon just reminds me so much of Neo Ant shares, the way the chart has behaved, the way just everything. There's a ton of support there. We all know what it can do, and it's one of those projects that people are going to FOMO in. There is clearly manipulation on the books, and I just remember I was so bullish on Ant shares, and when it really started to take off, I was like, this is too good to be true. I started to take massive profit at like 2 and 3x levels, and it just kept going and going and going. So I think Icon is something that I'm going to wait until I really get my money's worth, because right now, like many of the other people that purchase, if you didn't stop loss and you're holding and buying the dip, it doesn't feel good. People are throwing it in your face. There's a lot of misery going on. And, when things get good, I'm going to make them pay. I don't want to just take my 2x and get the hell out. I really do believe that it's going to be a top 10 token, and I believe the crypto market cap is going to grow past where it was in January, and Icon will be one of the top performing tokens. So to look at just taking 2 to 3x on it is a bit conservative in my book, and I want to make sure that when the next bull run happens, I'm positioned accordingly and properly, and that I really capitalize in a way that's truly life changing. So, I'm gonna get greedy. Yeah, I will. I might Deuce asked, "Are you getting a Venn Master?" No, I might as well. Might as well pick one up. Yeah, I have the tokens. Yeah. Power Hill says, obviously I don't have a crystal ball, but do I think the bear market is approaching its end? My estimation would be by when the weather starts to get nice in May, June, that time frame, we're going to see bullishness. So I don't know when, but I don't think it's going to continue through summer. No. So there's going to be a very, very powerful bull market coming. I started the crypto game with 5K US. Adam says the number one rule of crypto isn't hodl, it's make a plan and stick with it. I agree. And learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. The next time your portfolio looks outstanding and you have that euphoric feeling, make sure to take some profit. Don't get too greedy. There's so many people, and people I know, I see them do the same things over and over and over. They don't take profit, and then they complain when they. I could have. It's like being at the blackjack table or going to the casino. So many people go, I was at the casino and I was up 5,000, and then I lost it. And then I lost it. Why didn't you just, when you were up so big, why didn't you just stop? Or at least make sure that you can't lose money. That's the name of the game. You want to make sure, like, when you make the right play and you get rewarded, you got to make sure that you can't possibly lose money and possibly not make. You got to make sure that you're making money no matter what. And then if you want to get greedy and aggressive, fine, but make sure that you've positioned yourself where when you made this brilliant call, you can't not make money on it. You have to take some profit. Do you pull your initial investment out and risk on the way up? It depends on the project. It depends. What was your best performing crypto ever? I don't know. Lux at $1 at its height was at like almost 50. That performed well. WTC entering at 60 cents performed very well. Ven entering at 20 cents performed very well. EOS at 60 to 80 cents performed well. So those four. KuCoin also did really well, but I didn't have it for the whole run. I got into KuCoin shares at like 50 cents, but I sold at like $1.50 or $2, something like that. Has anyone from the dojo investigated the percentage of the supply that has been sent to the Ven private wallets this week? I think it's relevant to determine the squeeze on the supply. Somebody actually tweeted me about that yesterday. I need to look into it further. But no, that's a good question though. Looks like people probably locking in masternodes. Still bullish on NAS? Yes, I am. Yes. Thoughts on recent WTC FUD? Personally, I'm super bullish on it. The benefits are you get an interactive chat group that's serious about crypto, serious about all components of crypto. We do 2 weekly conference calls. We do webinars on all sorts of topics like trading psychology, security, things of that nature. There are signals. Fundamental analysis is pumped out all the time. So we have like 4 or 5 analysts there. We do write-ups, we do TA, we do all sorts of other things. And the monthly cost is 0.04 BTC or 0.5 F. And it's a community. A lot of talented traders in there. And it's really good for anybody really, but you just want to make sure you have enough portfolio where it's not, costing you too much. You don't want to go in with, 0.08 BTC and you're spending 0.04 BTC to join a group. That wouldn't make sense. So, yeah. You started the stream with Birch, says you'll never see me again once you make yours in the mooning of Qash icon. Do you really think you'll stay away from crypto world once you're paid? No, I kind of joke, but I might, I don't know. It's like, it depends. I mean, I kind of really enjoy doing the YouTube and I enjoy Twitter. It's a lot of fun. But I think ideally, I can't function at this rate forever because the burnout is tremendous. Actually, it doesn't, as you guys know, it doesn't stop. So I know a lot of you guys that aren't as active on social media or content creators. You're probably like burnt out of just scrolling through your Blockfolio and looking at your telegrams. Imagine having the responsibility of a group and a public group and a Twitter with a lot of followers, with a lot of people asking questions, a lot of pressure. That can really wear on you. So when I say you won't see me anymore, I'm just kind of joking around. I really have a passion for this and I love it. If I didn't love this, I wouldn't be able to do it. I promise you that. Because it takes a ton of bandwidth. And honestly, I've made a lot of sacrifices to get to even this level. I feel like I'm just starting out still, but the amount of sacrifices and time that I've put into this and energy and blood, sweat, and tears really is significant. So obviously, my goal is to put myself in a position of financial security with or without crypto. And once I obtain that, I may have to modify my approach in some regard, but I'm sticking around. I'm not going anywhere. Well, David said thoughts on huge volume spikes on cash. You never know. I mean, with coins like that, all it takes is a couple large investors, institutional investors, to decide that that's something they like, and they can pick up a lot of it. That's a possibility. Thank you. I appreciate you guys too. You guys are really supportive, especially of what happened today. The amount of messages, phone calls, PMs that I got when I was putting my credit card info out for the world. Uh, I really thank you guys. Thank you. Um, so stuff like that happens, especially depending on the exchange. Of cash, there may not have been a lot of volume. Somebody might have just bought the whole order book. I've done that before. Yeah. Sophia, keep going. Chase is bullish on Sophia. It's a great project. It's only on Gate.io though, right? Eric, I'll consider that. I just, you know, I'm giving consideration to all sorts of stuff, when it comes to that. Trying to figure out a way to scale and to offer support to a more broader audience is a goal of mine. Is Sophia on Huobi? Oh, it's on IDEX, but there's no volume. There's no volume to buy it, which is annoying. Death the Aura. Will you stick around if this bear market stays for 2 to 3 years? This is what I do now, so I guess I would say yes. I don't have any intentions of going anywhere. Um, if it went for 2 to 3 years, that would be a challenge, obviously, but, I'm not a quitter. I know where this is going. And, if it's 2 to 3 years, that means people are leaving. And if I'm somebody that sticks around, it means I'll really have a foothold in this space. Um, I want to get better, continue to grow, obviously become a better YouTuber and make mistakes like this morning, but really expand my knowledge in the space, and just continue to grow. So, I don't think crypto is a beanie baby. It's not going anywhere. And the more exposure and the more seniority I can have here is going to be better for me long term. I'm not looking at this as a get rich quick scheme, you know? What do you think of Chinese coins? Several have not been marketed to the West, especially the ones with good fundamentals. Uh, that's kind of a broad question. It'll be Aussie says, how long is Cash AMA postponed for? Next week. We'll pick it up next week. Um, to answer Daniel's question, yeah, I mean, I look at all tokens. Doesn't Chinese, Korean, American. Um, yeah, I'm checking them out. There are some good ones. Sebastian, what would you advise someone with smaller portfolio to grow it more aggressively? You have to take more risk. You have to, you have to look at projects that nobody else is really looking at or nobody else is buying, that have strong fundamentals that are trading at low prices. Um, yeah, You're not going to, if you have a smaller portfolio, you're not going to make it big by buying Litecoin and Ethereum, you know? It's plain and simple. Those are safer plays and they still have potential for growth. But, you know, if Litecoin did a 10x, that means that other coins are probably doing 20, 30x, you know? It's going to take too much money to move those projects. So you have to take more risky approach. Andy asked, am I BTC or alt heavy? I'm still alt heavy, but I picked up more BTC yesterday. Ncash going to $3. If Ncash goes to $3, I'd be very happy. Me and Doug Polk, I think I'd like to do it in May. We're discussing, so you'll know. We're gonna kind of hype it up a little bit. KJ, do you also leverage trade? I don't, but I think I should. I have a pretty good. I don't know. I've decided not to. It takes too much energy and effort, and with all the different things I have going on in crypto, I don't know if I have the bandwidth to really focus. And if you want to be a good leverage or margin trader, you have to be one with the chart. And I stick to. I'm not going to play another man's game, unless it's poker. All right, but speaking of sacrifice, I haven't eaten anything yet, and it's been a long, kind of crazy morning. I appreciate all your support, and yeah, make sure to tune in. Do I think 6K will be retested? That was asked earlier. No. Why did you leak your credit card info? Because I'm a generous guy, and I was, wanting to share my money with the world. Thank you guys. Take care. I'm gonna hop off.